Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cyndy. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I cannot believe that we are halfway through the last week of June. I'm not sure how that happened, but apparently that's what happened. So this, I thought, was the perfect time to take a quick little mini look and see how July is going to go for, the former guy. He's got a sentencing hearing coming up. He has a convention coming up. Which reminds me, if there's anybody out there who actually knows the answer to this, because I do not, if or when, let's say, Trump is nominated for the president, like officially nominated to be, their guy. What happens if something happens to him and he's not able to run? He can't do it. So logic tells me that the vice president would then shuffle up to the presidency, and then he would need, or her, which is unlikely, would need to then choose a running mate, vice president. I don't know how that works, because on a basic and fundamental level, what you have there are people in very powerful positions who have, because even if Trump isn't there and Joe Blow is the vice president and then he becomes the president, and irregardless, he still would be considered the leader of the party, and he's not been voted for. If anybody has the answer to how that works, could you just kind of let me know? Put it in comment. Because it just, the whole thing sort of flies in the face of somebody being voted into office. But, I mean, it makes no sense that they would have like another election. I don't know. Yeah, and I have always said, the longer it takes for Trump to exit, one way or the other, and we all wanted that to happen 4 years ago, okay, but it didn't happen. So where we are right now is the longer it takes, the closer it gets to the election where he is, and then there is an incapacity problem, the more chaos and turmoil is going to be inflicted on the Republicans. And you can see where MAGA people aren't going to vote because they're going to be mad, and nobody's MAGA the way Trump was MAGA. And other Republicans who perhaps were maybe going to vote for, Joe Biden, or they may start gravitating back towards the Republican Party, except that you have people in those positions of president and vice president who probably don't have the experience or the political savvy to be in those offices. I mean, because if you look at who Trump is looking at as I love what the guy who wrote the book, Apprentice in Wonderland, about Trump. He said that Trump isn't looking for a vice president; he's looking for a co-star, and I think that is really accurate. So what I'm saying is you could very well end up with people in powerful positions who really don't have, kind of political experience that you would at least hope. Anyways, if you have an answer, let me know, and I'm just going to focus here on the month of July for Trump. How's his July going to go? To Tower. Trump in July, Trump in July, Trump in July. And astrologers everywhere are saying sort of from the middle of the month to the end and then into August, there's some real crazy wonky stuff going on. And that's going to be interesting to sort of sit back and watch and see how that plays out too. But let's consult the tarot cards right now and just see what they have to say about Trump's July. Sorry, I just had a funny cut there and I just needed to. Interesting. So, not surprisingly, we're starting off with the tower, right? So, July just feels like it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of, there's going to be more and more reporting about infighting or bickering going on, not only with the Trump campaign, but within the party itself. Um, it's going to be a very, just feels like chaotic and really stressful time. Here's the infighting that's going on. Here's the bickering and the arguing, and people are trying to figure out how to do this and how to do that. It's almost like people are jockeying for positions. Um, there's going to be conversations about what does one do with the presidential person who has been convicted of 34 felons and now knows his punishment. And his punishment, um, it may be limited jail time. I don't think so, but I think that you're definitely are going to see some combination of restriction in terms of what he can do. There's going to continue to be a gag order on him. It feels like there's going to be like monetary considerations, right? Like monetary penalties. So I'm getting some restriction, like a probation sort of, where somebody's keeping track of them, and a monetary penalty and a continued gag order. How are they supposed to address that? There's more secrets that are going to come out. There's more secrets. And Trump is going to be so desperate to appear strong and in control. And it's not going to go over very well with people who are making choices. So his voters, even to some degree, people within the Republican Party are going to start getting really cold feet. I don't know what these additional secrets are, but there's more coming out in the month of July, and it's going to create some real real moments of like concern and anxiety and worry. Problem is, by that point, everything is rolling ahead, right? I mean, it's going, and they are not going to be able to, as a party, in the month of July. It looks like they are not going to be able to overcome some of the real handicaps that are coming in with Trump as their nominee. They're going to have a hard time. And it's funny because this card feels like rushing forward chaos, except they're not getting anywhere. There's going to be some really crazy tricks. And you know what? Not only that, there's going to be a lot more of this. What are they calling them? Okay, I can't remember. But it's like, the video that they put out last week, and it was about they cropped it in such a way so that it looked like Biden was talking to like the air, except in fact he was talking to somebody who had landed in a balloon or a parachuter. Thank you. Um, there's going to be more of that, like a lot of kind of dirty tricks going on. And they, listen, they don't have a low. Okay. We know that. And Trump doesn't have a low. And because of that, he's given permission for all the Republicans to not have one either. And so that's what you've got there. There's going to be an awful lot of hanging on, trying to hang on. But he's going to have unpleasant news coming his way. He's going to have to face some truths and some realities. Also feels like things may start spinning out of control for the campaign itself. Going to be aware of some really significant judgments happening against him. And it feels there we go. It feels as if you're going to start hearing more and more complaining because all of the money it's getting funneled to Trump, which frankly, most of that's getting funneled to his lawyers. So even though there's all of this money that they say is coming in, it feels like it's going other places than it should. So you're going to have, people in all the down ballot races going, we don't have any money. Like, Trump's taken it all. And Trump is going to continue to be, trying to sell whatever he's going to sell or whatever juice he's going to make for more fundraising because he needs more money coming in because he's got mounting lawyer stuff going on. All right. I want to say this card is really interesting, this judgment card, because it feels as if this is more than kind of one judgment. It feels like there is going to be, certainly for Trump, some shock at the judgment that is passed by Judge Merchan. Like he's not prepared. He's not expecting. Like he really thinks he's just going to get a slap on the wrist and told to go forth and be a good boy. So it's going to send him into a spiral. And then you have the convention. And I see him actually getting the nomination. I see him in that process. But for whatever reason, there seems to be a great deal of anxiety literally during the course of that convention. And there's going to be things that are released, that are said, that are hot on a hot mic, whatever it is, that are really going to not serve him well. And I'm wondering if this also reflects some sort of upheaval based on the ruling that will be coming down with regards to immunity. There's some real illumination. There's things that are going to still be coming to the surface. Things that we don't know. And you know what? I'm not so sure. I don't like the word things. It's like behaviors, attitudes, the way things are. You're going to get more of Trump saying, I don't care about you, but vote for me. What was, I think his response to the gun violence, if I think it was to the gun violence, was get over it. There's going to be more of that sort of that real brash, bully, aggressive kind of crap coming out of his mouth. And people are going to start going, wait a minute. And you know what? Honestly, I really feel like the media missed a really good opportunity when they didn't take that clip of him saying, "I don't care about you. I just want your vote," over and over and over and over again. And if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, I think that was the same place where he was talking about sharks and batteries. So he has an ending coming up, and I don't think it's going to be very, very pleasant for him. Has to do with contracts that have been made, deals that have been made, negotiations. And in many ways, it has to deal with decisions that are being made that are not in his control. And nothing makes him crazier than when things aren't in his control. I'm also going to be hearing more about money issues and money problems. There's going to be a general feeling that he's really kind of a little bit trapped. And here we have, the devil kind of showing up going, all of those vices, the greed, are going to become more, where's my son? More and more amplified. They're going to be harshly shown in the light of day. And so, I think that a lot of people are going to be, a lot of undecided people, it feels like they're going to be making up their mind as a result of the event of the month of July. We also have the Four of Swords here. That's a retreat. That's an illness. That's something that is sort of stopping him in his tracks. And the Five of Cups. So there is that disappointment, that sorrow, that kind of energy. And you have the Eight of Swords around him. He is bound. He can't see. I think that's part of the reason. Okay, just energetically, can you just tell me what's going on here? Yeah, okay. So there's going to be a lot of things happening in the month of July that Trump doesn't have any control over. So that is going to be for sure the the ruling that's going to be coming down with Marshawn. But it feels like there are other things that are going to be going on. And it's gonna create a time where Trump is literally going to feel like the walls is closing in on him, and him having fewer choices and fewer options. And when that happens, he reverts, or it's not even, I don't think reverts anymore. I think it's just he goes deeper into the illusions and the fantasies in which he lives. And then the things he says become even more outrageous and more crazy. It's definitely going to be a really, really hard month for him. I am concerned a little bit about that Four of Swords that immediately followed the Devil card. That just doesn't feel like a good omen or good news. And the final thing that you're telling me is that there are things that are going to be happening in public. So what you have is behaviors or episodes or events that have been happening behind closed doors are going to start happening in a very public arena. And so some of those secrets, some of those things that they're keeping quiet, are going to end up being forced into the public arena because they're simply going to happen in the public arena. Sounds like it's going to be a tough month for him. And so deserving of it. So deserving. Until next time, take care and be well. Don't forget to put your questions in the comment section. Bye for now.